What's up everybody, it's your boy, Mars Casual. When coming up with an idea on what to do for my second video on this channel, I really wanted to fully embrace my plan to truly follow the idea that this channel wouldn't be solely focused on one topic, but rather a multitude of topics that I have an interest in. From anime and manga to music and games, I really wanted this channel to be a nice little outlet for me to get these thoughts and feelings I have towards these subjects out on the web so that maybe, whomever you may be watching this video, may also come to find an interest in these things as well. And if that evolves to a handful of people or several hundreds, I'll just be glad to have spread the word and maybe have resonated with a few as well. Which finally leads me to the topic of today's video, which is a group that have really gotten me through all the fucking crazy ass shit that's been going on through this year, through the sheer creativity and imagination that's ever present inside their music. And that group is none other than the band Lamp. Lamp is a Japanese musical group comprising of the three members, Taiyo Sumeya, Yusuke Nagai, and Kaori Sakakibara. Sumeya and Nagai initially met in high school through a shared interest in Western 60s music, and with Sumeya later on being introduced to Sakakibara while in college by a friend, the three decided to form the group Lamp at the turn of the century, the year 2000. With Sumeya playing guitar, vibraphone, and synth, Kaori on the accordion, flute, and vocals, and Yusuke also on guitar but as well bass and keyboard, the three would go out to create music drawing inspiration from a multitude of Western genres, such as jazz, pop, soul, funk, and also Brazilian genres, such as samba and bossa nova. Although they are ultimately under the Shibuya-Kei genre title, which is a genre that emerged within urban Japan during the 1990s that draws heavy inspiration from any type of Western musical aesthetics, with prominent musical artists consisting of Sunny Day Service, Fishmans, Cornelius, and Flipper's Guitar, all of whom I heavily recommend you give a thorough listen to as well. Now that we got all the serious introduction part of the video over with, now is my time to fanboy over Lamp's discography, because holy shit is it discography consisting of bangers just constantly flying in from all directions. A bombardment of bangers, if you will. First starting off with their debut release, Soyokaze Apartment Room 201 in 2003, one needs only listen to the premiere track, Windy Afternoon, to hear an influx of sound with a promising future. With just this one track containing an opening consisting of the raw sound of a piano, first reminiscent that of a jazz funk record by Donald Byrd, only to transition to the smooth rhythms and graceful sounds of bossa nova. But strap yourself in, because our journey still continues, for they basically said, screw it, and tossed in a short Afro-Cuban style bongo solo halfway through, only to be followed by the beautiful improvised jazz flute reminiscent that of Bobby Humphrey provided by your girl, Kaori. And all of this is just from their first track on their debut record. If I was a random Japanese guy listening to this for the first time in my room in 2003, I would have been shitting myself in amazement, just from this random assortment of sounds that had just entered my ear out of nowhere. Only a year later, in 2004, Lamp went on to release their most acclaimed album, For Lovers, which is an 8-track, half-an-hour assortment of enticing melodies from start to finish. From what for many outside of Japan would be the introductory song to the group, Hiragaro Namida, to the energetic pieces such as Last Train at 25 O'Clock and Words of Love, to the more slow ballads such as Rainy Tapestry and Behind the Moon Shadow. This album fully shows what Lamp is capable of, whilst maintaining their exploration and fusion of genres ever prevalent. But this album, at least to me, sounds as though Lamp just opened up that one hole-in-the-wall place in your neighborhood that has food that bangs and is starting to gain a reputation. But they just haven't released that one plate that goes so hard, it'll make you go like Anton Ego from Ratatouille. And if that dish were a Lamp album incarnate, it would be their 2014 release, Yume, which is an album that even more so than Lamp's other works, requires a good pair of headphones and the requirement from the listener to be willing to just get comfortable and sit down and listen to this masterpiece of an album from start to finish without interruption on the first go. For this album truly expanded my horizons of what I thought was possible of how one can compose music in this day and age. Every song on this album is phenomenal in its own right and in its own little intricacies. I have been listening to this album non-stop for the past year, and only just recently did I buy a good pair of studio headphones that let me feel as though I was listening to the album again for the first time, simply due to the sheer amount of new little sounds that fluctuated in my ear as I listened. Continuing from that, I haven't even gotten the chance to say this yet, but one of the main reasons why I love Lamp is simply due to the fact that when you listen to them, it feels as though you can just focus on any one of the elements that make up their songs, from the vocals to even the bass, by themselves, and you would never find it repetitive or exhausting. And in no other Lamp work is this most prevalent than in Yume. For example, just listen to the second track present on the album, Atoshi no Aki, and just listen to how the way the drums connect each part of the song to one another, even into the time changes, and as the bass follows the drums and connects with the vocals. And just sit there in amazement as you listen to what feels like a little trek in the grainer journey that is Yume. Every track, although maybe not literally like in some other albums, feels as though they flow right into one another like a train with an ultimate destination that makes little scenic stops along the way, only to arrive at the 5.5 minute long swing conclusion, Sachiko, which is a beautiful assortment of a 3/4 waltz that evokes a sensation of nostalgia for a lost time, although while having a forward motion within its melody that suggests a brighter future that is yet to come. Really, this album is an absolute masterpiece that needs to be listened to by anyone with a love for music at least once in their lifetime. I could have literally talked about any of my other favorite Lamp albums, such as the heavy Brazilian-inspired Tokyo Utopia Tsushin, or the moving city-esque album Komorebi Dori Nipe, and many others, but that would have made this video way too long, and I feel as though the editing for this video is going to take forever just based off of this script. But in all seriousness, please go give Lamp a try. Just last year they released a collaboration album with singer Kide and another Shibuya-Kei artist known as Owano Sora, called Stardust in Blue. Anyways, maybe you'll be just like me and fall down the Lamp rabbit hole as well. In the meantime though, Ornita vengo chamacos.